Hey, okay, so this is my new venture. Let me introduce myself. My name's Lane. I am a marketing specialist. I've been doing marketing for several years now, and took it in school. But I spent the last several years as a marketing director, chief marketing officer in a company, and senior leadership. And I have just stepped out, excuse the wiggles, guys. I have just stepped out onto my own as an entrepreneur for the first time in my life. And I just sort of felt like, this is one of those like really unique things that I think a lot of people are curious about if they've never been entrepreneurs. And you always hear the stories sort of like, I don't want to say in the aftermath, but you hear the stories like afterwards. But what if you got to like see the story in real time? You know what I mean? I just thought I literally have just started on this journey. So just to give you a little background. So like I said, I was a marketing director, chief marketing officer, whatever you want to call me, in a company that I spent the last few years growing like just about 300%. They didn't have marketing. I took over marketing. Tremendous growth. It was an amazing time. And that company, I think, not all companies, this was a smaller company. It was only, when I first started, it was just worth over just $1 million. So now it's worth, around 4. But, yeah, so, but the thing about growing companies and things like that is it's not for everybody. And, I'm not saying that it's not for the person who, whose company I just departed from, but, that's something that he may decide. Because I think the feeling is, and I've talked to other people in the same position, running companies like this, and it's like they keep growing this company larger and larger, but they're not making any more money because there's so much overhead. And it's like, is it worth it day in and day out? Because, the struggle, I mean, at the end of the day, they have to look at the long-term game. What do they really want to get out of it in the long term? How do they want to retire? What kind of retirement, what payout do they want to have? Because that's where they're really going to see it. In the meantime, it's putting up with a lot of headache and heartache and all of that, because you're dealing with so much more staff when you're growing a company larger. You're dealing with so much, and I hate to say staff. I always catch myself on that, team members. But either way. It's a lot more headache to grow a company larger. It's not necessarily for everybody, but it is, if you want to ultimately cash out on that, there are other ways to make money and make your retirement money. So you don't have to grow, you don't have to own a company and grow it really big to make, to have a great cash out payout, at the end of the day and when you retire. Most people don't do that. So, regardless, but for me, I'm a freight train. Like, I got to keep going. I got to move on. I got to move up. I gotta, go bigger, I'm like, go big or go home. That's just my mentality. So, when the company really was starting to kind of, well, and I don't want to say the company, but the decisions of the CEO, he was really starting to pull back. Like it was getting to be too much. And for me, it's like, I'll push and push and go further and further, because I know we can, but, for him, he's like, it's more headache and more headache. And to be honest, love him to death, but he was making it harder on himself too. And that happens, and that's okay. So all that backstory leads up to, I resigned. It hasn't even quite been 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I'll say it hasn't quite been, yeah, it hasn't quite been two weeks since I've left the company. Last week was the first week where I was not working. I was at home. Well, I mean, I was working, but I was not working for the company anymore, where I'm working for myself and I'm doing my own thing. And it has been like exhilarating. For me, this is extremely exciting. And, I just decided, I'm like, you know what? I am right at the base of it all. I'm right where, a lot of people who are going, well, I don't know if I can do this whole entrepreneur thing. And, to leave your secure job, and to go on it, go out on your own. That's one of the scariest things for a lot of people. A lot of people are curious about it, but scared. Can't blame me for that. But, I'm one of those people. Fear never stops me, and, fear shouldn't stop anybody. I know it does. It makes you want to, but if you really want something, you should just go for it anyway. So, being that I'm all of a week in, I thought maybe I should just, record this time in my life, you know, record it and put it out there for other people to see, so, you know, you can be there and see my challenges and see my wins, and, you know, hopefully I can spread some hope and some confidence for people who are thinking about doing this, but maybe afraid to take the plunge or afraid to, you know, kind of jump off the ledge. But, you know, what's funny is all of these things, you know, that the security that you have in your job is really, it's a false security. There's, you know, and I think a lot of, you know, if you read books like, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, oh, no, I'm sorry. Oh, who was it? Crap. I want to say it's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but it's not. What other book was I reading? Elon Musk, maybe? No. Shoot. Oh, I'm blanking out. Anyway, oh well, I don't have to be super, you know, on point with that stuff. Mistake number 1. I don't remember what I'm talking about. No, the story was, and if you've read the book, then you know what I'm talking about, but it was somebody talking about how, you know, their father, who supposedly had a stable job, you know, what it was like when suddenly that stable job was no longer there anymore. He got laid off. You know, he took the safe road and had the stable job and, you know, went with the safety net and ended up laid off, and they were struggling to get by. God, this is killing me. See, I don't want to say I read too much, but I'm like Gary V, Simon Sinek, the Rich Dad, Kiyosaki, whatever it is, something Kiyosaki. Crap, I cannot think of who it was, and I just tripped across that same story just recently again. What was it? Oh, that's gonna make me crazy. But either way, so the point is like your secure job is not necessarily so secure. You never know when one day you suddenly don't have a job anymore. And then what do? You go out and search for another job. In fact, to propel you into some kind of entrepreneurship, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a great book about exactly that, about the rat race, and it'll make you want to get out anyway. But anyway, so yeah, so I have just started this journey this past week. So just to catch you up on what I've been doing, and I'm going to try to keep these under 10 minutes unless I have something really profound to tell you. But this past week, I have been in a lot of like seminars and webinars, and taking a management class, but where I have been working on, well, kind of deciding my direction and listening to a lot of the great minds that are doing some of the things I was considering, so that I can really, like, I don't want to be trying to do a million things at one time, which I can definitely see myself doing if I don't create a really specific plan. So this last week was all about me developing my plan. It was really like exhilarating to be doing that, basically. And so like, I think my first direction is really to try to get some of my best knowledge and best material put together into something concrete and tangible that I can put out there, and get out there to a lot of people. I want to create really awesome marketing content. You know, originally I want to aim it at medical and dental and all of that. But teach them a lot of the basics and have it in a tangible way that, like, you know, I don't want to do a lot of one-to-one, but that's the best way to get it. But I would only be able to work with, you know, maybe 4 or 5, you know, different offices at a time, period, because it's just too much of my time to be doing all this one-on-one. So, you know, I can try advising, which I think I will do. But one of the big things is I want to create automated income for myself as well. But I want to get some material out there. So I'm looking at writing an ebook, and not only writing the ebook, but breaking it down into like the reason I keep looking over here is because, I'll show you a little bit of what I've been working on. So, you can kind of see this. So that's, I don't know how much you can see, but, that is kind of an outline of, an online, this thing freaking sucks. I need a new one. An online marketing course that I want to offer that's going to have specific information, you know, how-tos. I mean, it'll give you all the basics, but, you know, as awesome as that is, people will buy into it. People will go for it. And it'll be beneficial to people if they implement, you know, but not everybody could take an online course like this and be able to implement it and be super successful. But they would have the materials they could always reference back if they get the right team member in place and then say, all right, I have this online course, you go do this thing and implement all the stuff in it. You know, if, you know, that, then it would work for them. But I definitely want to get it out there. You know, this is all knowledge, all in my head that I want to get out to people. So, so that's definitely one of the things that I'm working on first and foremost. So I'm thinking right now, like putting together all my knowledge into, an ebook and an online course, and working with one-on-one clients. But I'm also, the next big thing that I'm really working on is, it's basically like the latest in marketing, strategy, which is, funnels. It's not even something that's really like the industry it hasn't spread through the whole industry just yet. Like, people haven't totally caught on to it, but it's super effective. So I kind of feel like I'm getting out there on the leading edge of this. And if I can get out ahead of a lot of people, I'll be, you know, in really good shape. But I want to use it. I want to use it to promote, you know, my online course and my ebook and stuff like that, stuff that I put out there. But I'm thinking if I'm really good at it, that I'll offer it as a service to people. And that's something that would be, really awesome. And that would be basically another automated business that I could have. You know, I could have my, you know, online, learning materials. I could have, you know, a online, or a, you know, funnel building business, because that's something that I could hire people in, teach them how to do it, and you know, sit them down, or even hire people who know how to do it, you know, at that point, and just employ them to build them, and then I can step back. That's all a little easier than like, cause my like, trust me, like face to face, working with people, PR type of stuff is really my forte. So, you know, one-to-one, consulting and advising is definitely something that would be hugely beneficial for me. And I don't think it's something I will ever not do. But for right now, I don't want to go crazy with clients doing that and get locked into that and not have these other things going. I want to do these other things and get these rolling. But my one-to-one or my PR and all of that is definitely my forte, like being able to talk to people. So that's definitely something I'm going to always hang on to. But I kind of want to get like all this stuff on my brain and get it off and make it something I can profit off of and something I can help other people with, and reach a large market. And then through that, you know, people will want to learn from me, you know, once they've read my book and they've seen the material and they see how, you know, the quality of the material, you know, then it just promotes me as an advisor. So, you know, it's just another thing. So it all kind of ties into each other, but I had to sort of figure out, and this is longer, this is my first video, so don't get mad at me. I had to sort of figure out what direction I was going to go. So, I feel pretty good about it. Right now, I'm doing a lot of coaching and stuff with the marketing funnels, which I'm not going to get into right now. That's basically what I'm spending my time doing. Actually, I met with one of my clients this morning. So I mean, I'm working from home, like I said, so excuse this super blank wall. I actually tore everything off of it because I'm going to repaint it. I hate this color. I love that color. I'll go all the way with the color before I then decide I don't like it. That's a lot of work. But yeah, so you see, like I've actually just sat down and hashed this out last night because I'm really thinking that this is one of the big things that I'm going to be doing. But then you can kind of see like, oh, my poor little work area. I've got a very tiny work area here. So this is like classic startup. Those are just my yearly goals. So and actually 5 regular clients. Those that I do want to have, some regular clients, not all consuming, maybe take up half my time. And then I actually do at least have one whiteboard, as small as it may be, to track like the daily things that I need to do and get done and blah, blah, blah. I learned something this morning from my pitch this morning. So I'm glad for that. I did learn something. And it had to do with, sorry for the spinning, guys. Had to do with pricing out, because I just rolled out some really high ticket items for a one-to-one. And I'm actually going to go meet another client, another potential client here in just a short bit. But yeah, so I learned this morning, I outlined the fees for my services and what that'll involve, but I do specify that it doesn't include the additional costs like marketing, so if I'm having to order a bunch of mailers and that's $500, that's not included in my fees. So what I realized, or, they kind of brought it up, so I learned from this, was include those additional fees, because I can estimate. I've been doing this long enough. I can estimate, roughly what it's going to cost them in the materials on top of my service fees. So I learned that this morning. But I think what I want to do for people is to kind of record this journey. So, I think it's something I would have been curious to learn about. You hear people speak about it, and who knows, maybe nobody will give a shit about this. But I decided I am going to do like a video blog of my journey into entrepreneurship, because like I said, I'm a week in right now, and, share my struggles, share my wins, share things that I learn along the way. Maybe you can learn from me and not make some of my mistakes, just like that one. So if you're doing consulting fees, and there's material costs, maybe estimate material costs as well. So that probably would have benefited me, but that's okay. I learned that, and I'm really curious. I laid it all out this morning, so I'm just waiting to hear what their final decision will be. It could be a lot of money, or it could just be, some money. So we'll see. We'll see what it's gonna play out as, going forward. And, yeah, so I can't tell you, I think it's scary for a lot of people to leave their job, and maybe it just hasn't settled in with me, but, I'm super pumped. I'm super stoked to be doing my thing and doing what feels right to me. And yeah, I'm excited. So, I'm going to stop here. I'll see you next time. I hope you guys, want to come on this journey with me. I don't know how often I'll post. I suppose if I'm being really boring and there's not anything exciting, I'm sure I'll post again this week, especially once I, hear back from some of my potential clients and get some people signed on and some contracts done. I'll, report back, and who knows if I implement some funnels or something like that, and just keep you guys updated, let you know when I screw something up, all that fun stuff. It's all coming. It's all part of it. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. And I'm happy to have you on this journey with me. So have a great day, kick some ass this week, and I'll see you next time.